All right, joining me right now is Anthony Leone. He is part of Bali MMA. He's actually the owner of Bali MMA, but also a fighter who fights under the ACB banner. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, good. First of all, how did you're American, and I know you lived in Phuket for a while, but how did you end up in Bali out of all the places?
Yeah, we were in me and my brother were in Phuket for a minute, and we were just looking for something a little bit better. A little bit. Phuket was just so saturated; it was just a little bit crazy there. And we kind of grew up surfing, and we knew Bali had amazing waves, and kind of one thing led to another. We got in touch with our Indonesian investor and partner, and just like, oh, it just worked out. We just opened up a gym, and he was all out. He was all on board for it.
Yeah, you guys in the past few years have created a amazing team out there, and you
Yeah.
basically become the elite gym in that country. How does it feel
Mm.
to be able to accomplish so much in such a short period of time?
We kind of set our goals pretty high, and all our standards are really high. Coming from like American or wrestling background, and we know what we need to do to be successful. So we don't really feel like we accomplished really like I mean we didn't accomplish our goals yet. So it's not like we look at it and be like, oh, we're relieved we accomplished something. We still have our sets really high, our standards really high, and there's a lot of things that we want to get done. We haven't accomplished anything of what we want to get done yet. So we want to be able to produce champions. We want to get local champions, Indonesians out there, and just keep on building our small but very successful fight team.
How is the MMA community out there in Indonesia? Because it's not really famous for that type of sport.
You're right. It's not. And 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, when I first moved here, not a lot of people knew about MMA, and that it wasn't a big thing. And you could really see it changing. You could really see the landscape and the market change of Indonesia. I mean, there's one Pride that's on TV here in Indonesia now, and we have some fighters that are Indonesian. They're known. They're famous. We have other fighters like, I don't know if you know Ev Ting, but like he got pulled over the other day when he was here last week by the police, and the police just wanted to pull him over because they knew who he was.
Uh,
So it's definitely, the market has changed, and MMA is becoming very popular out here.
yeah, Canggu Fight Night. You got flamethrowers. You got
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, you got kickboxing, you got every combat sport going down. Like, what made
Yeah.
you come up with that environment?
Well, it's Canggu Fight Night. Well, I mean, it wasn't something we really came up with. I mean, we kind of just started hosting these in-house fights, and basically we let the people speak and what they wanted to see, kind of, and we just started throwing other things into the mix, and now it's become super popular. We get like 350 people at this event at our gym, and it's really a crazy experience. I've been to a lot of fights in my life, and I've never seen this before, where it's kind of like a party slash fights, and people are taking it seriously, but everybody's really having a great time. So
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. You get a party and a big fight. You get a fight card and a big party all in one.
yeah, it makes me want to go to Bali and like set my trip up so I could actually hit up one of those fight nights to experience that environment, because I've seen the videos online. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the last week of May, we'll be doing we'll be doing another one, and then we're actually taking it to there's this really big beach bar, a really famous one here in Canggu, and they decided they would like to host one at the end of July. So we're gonna actually move it, and it's gonna really be way bigger. We'll be able to fit over 1,000 people and stuff. It's gonna be crazy.
You've been fighting for a while, Bellator, WEC, Strike Force. Now you're in ACB. You're only 30 years old, though. But do you
Yeah.
kind of consider yourself like an OG or a veteran of the game?
I don't. I didn't used to, because I really started MMA when I was 20, and I've only been doing it for 10 years. like training and stuff. So I took my first fight and it kind of just snowballed and happened really fast. And maybe I shouldn't have went in that direction of going to these super high caliber fights just yet. I should have held back. So, but now, you know, we got a lot of new guys on our team, and, you know, a lot of guys that are younger guys that are looking for advice. And, you know, I'm probably the most experienced, most
Mhm.
experienced guy out of the bunch with as many fights and, you know, shows I've been in. So I feel more of, I've taken on this role of a veteran and a leader on our team. And, but OG, you know, there's a lot of OGs out there and I'm not one of them, and, not yet. So I feel young still, man. I feel young. So I still got a lot of fight left in me.
How long do you think you're gonna fight for? How long? How many more years do you got left in you?
Yeah. I mean, I could probably fight till I'm 40. You know, it really depends on where I'm going, in my career, and, yeah, just where I'm going. I'm gonna fight for a while. You know, as long as I'm doing the things that I'm able to do still, and I'm still competitive, and I'm winning fights. You know, I'm not here just to really be like just to go and fight, man. I really want to climb up the ranks, and I really want to be a champ. That's always been my goal since day one. So those are the goals, and, I'm gonna keep on training my ass off until I reach those goals. You know, and if I don't feel like it's going that way in maybe 4 or 5 years, then we're gonna have to take a step back and look. But until then, man, I'm gonna keep on training my ass off and try to fight to be the best fighter in the world.
Yeah, you're headlining ACB 85 in Italy on
Yeah,
the 21st. Your brother, Andrew,
yeah.
he's also headlining one championship in Manila on the 20th. So you guys are both training at the same time concurrently. How helpful is that?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. We've never. I don't know if we've ever had this before, and, it's pretty crazy. Andrew got the call. He knew he was fighting, and then I got the call like 2 weeks after him. And, at first, I was like, you know, I want to go to Andrew's fight. I want to be there. I want to help him. And then we kind of talked to like, man, let's just do it, you know. So, but man, it's been an amazing camp because we have a lot of good fighters at our camp right now, and the team is growing a lot. And, man, we also have a lot of fights coming up as well. And to have Andrew right beside me every day, and he's trying not to just train. He's trying to win every single round. He's trying to win every single position. And man, Andrew's one of the best guys I've ever he's one of the best. You know, he when he's on, he's one of the best, and he's on. He really has devoted himself this camp, and, you know, I've never seen as much hard work from Andrew in my life. You know, he's just one of those naturally talented dudes, and, he's in it. So it's been a crazy camp. I mean, you can see my black eye. You know, that's thanks to Andrew, and man, we've been pushing each other to the max every single day.
Are you a game plan guy? Are you a guy that studies film, or do you just focus on yourself when you're in camp for every single fight?
You know, I think it would be silly if I didn't watch any tape. If I had tape, you know, it would be silly for me to see my opponent's tendencies or the way he moves. So of course I watch some fights. Um, a game plan, there is always a little bit, there's, not so much game plan step by step, but there's things I want to do. Things not so much I'm trying to avoid. I'm going in there to implement my strongest points, you know, and then he's gonna have to worry about the way I look at it. He's gonna have to worry about that. So we just look to see his patterns, his movement, and then we go from there.
Yeah, your opponent at ACB 85, Magomed Ginazov, if you watch his tape, you know, I watched his tape. I'm interviewing you, so I need to know what type of fighter he is. In my opinion, I kind of see a one-dimensional fighter. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there's man, he is one of the weirder. This is my fourth Russian I fought, and they all have very similar traits or attributes or things they train. Right, it's very clear. And he's one of those guys. But then there's like tapes where I'm like, you know, he's all right. Then there's other tapes where I'm like, man, where did this come from? Like he does some stuff. He loses the first round, usually comes out in the second round. And if the other guy kind of holds back, he does this little explosive movement and then he goes for the kill. And it's like it's kind of tricky, you know, he's a little tricky guy to read. So there's definitely things you got to worry about for him. Man, when I was in Phuket, I trained with a lot of Dagestan guys, a lot of Chechens. So I kind of got to read on what they do, on what they're really good at. And man, there's some of the toughest individuals in the world. Man, I was in Dagestan. Every single person has cauliflower. I'm talking. You go to the airport. The airport dudes got cauliflower. I mean, they're all wrestling at 3-4 years old. So, you know, it's going to be a tough fight, but I don't think he has the tricks, the skills, and he's not. I don't think he's on my level.
You said it's going to be a tough fight. What exact challenges does he pose to you?
He's gonna try to wrestle me. I believe he's gonna take that shot late in the first round, midway through the second round if it goes there. You know, he's always gonna take that shot. Those guys are really strong there too. You know, his stand-up's not great. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. Throws some spinning kicks, so we gotta keep an eye out for that. I just gotta defend a takedown. Sometimes his ground and pound's really good. Sometimes it's really not. When he's on his back, he doesn't really do that much. He kind of, to me, if I look at him, he looks like he wants to be in the fight, but he looks like he doesn't want to lose. He doesn't look like he wants to win, like you win as bad as, you know, like I want to win. I want to win more than anything. And I don't know if he has that. So I think if it's going to go into the second and third round, I think that's where we're going to see him start to break, and I'm going to overtake that fight for sure. I guarantee that.
When you debuted for ACB, you started as a flyweight, then you moved up to bantamweight. Well, why did you transition?
Oh man, I almost died making that weight. I mean, I walk around at like 75 kilos, 74 kilos. Are you know kilos?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I wanted to give it a shot, and I gave it 3 shots, and every single one of those fights, obviously, it's really hard to make the weight, but I just never performed well. I never felt like my body did some weird stuff. It held on to water like a lot. Man, I went from 57 kilos to 75 kilos in 2 days. So I went through this thing called, what is it called, Liv? Edema? Yeah, edema. And my body just retained everything. And I was at that weight for like 5 days and really swollen. So there was a health problem there. There was a real health risk where, you know, maybe my kidneys were starting to hurt. They were starting to shut down. And, you know, when you're not performing at a certain weight class and you're putting your body through a lot of damage, it's time to go back up. And I went back up to 35, and that's my better weight, and I performed way better.
It seems like you're at the optimal weight class. You know, your training camp has been going well. You live in Bali, which is always a plus in anybody's book. What can we expect from you? After you win this fight, what do you expect to have for the rest of the year, like your plans?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stay in Italy for like 2 weeks and just hang out with my girlfriend and relax for a little bit, and then I don't know. I mean, there's a card in Australia. I would kind of like to get on that card, but if not, we'll just take it one step at a time. I'd like to fight, you know, 1 or 2 more times before the end of the year, and just keep on moving up the ladder in ACB.
Well, you know, if you get a win against this guy is ranked like number 6 in Russia as a bantamweight. He's beaten some good dudes. So I think if you go in there and have an impressive performance, it puts you up the ladder pretty high for close to a title shot.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see about the title shot. We'll see. You know, I'm not in the past. I might have looked past sometimes of my fights. Never looked past my opponents, but I always were looking for the next thing, you know. Right now I'm just concentrated on this fight. I'm not really concerned about anything else and what happens next. We just re-signed with ACB, so it's a great contract, and I just want to perform well in, you know, in Italy, where my grandparents are from. I really wanted this. It's an amazing opportunity to be the main event in Italy. I'm so grateful for it, and I just want to perform to the best of my ability.
Yeah, April 21st,
Yeah,
Italy, ACB
yeah,
85. You're headlining. It's a major opportunity. Thank you for your time, Anthony.
yeah. Thank you, John.